Mr. M returned to the house, sat on the edge of the bed, and scratched his head. He wasn't used to having so many children and grandchildren, especially when Nathan D., his eldest grandson, called him Grandpa. He felt numb all over. Mr. M sighed, feeling like he had no choice but to get used to it. Instead of sighing, he decided to focus on survival. He opened the wooden box on the bed and found 2 silver hairpins, 2 silver bracelets, and 13 taels of silver. He also found a pottery jar filled with copper coins, which added up to about 15 taels. With such a big family, their savings seemed meager. Fortunately, they had 20 acres of land, and the autumn harvest was near. This family could survive for another year, but their future depended on fate. As a farmer, their livelihood relied on the weather. After accepting reality, Mr. M thought about his future. He considered the typical time traveler's route, making glass, soap, and firearms, and then rebelling to become king. But he rolled his eyes, thinking, novels are indeed lies. He knew the theory behind making glass from sand, but the process eluded him. He had questions about making soap from lard, and firearms seemed impossible. Even making firecrackers was a challenge. Most people know a little about gunpowder and firearms, but that doesn't mean they can actually make them. Moreover, this world had extraordinary beings like warriors who could fly and fight thousands alone. Primitive firearms were useless against them. The original body was a warrior, but after a great battle, he was seriously injured and his martial arts path was ruined. Mr. M thought about his original body's martial arts skills, stretched out his hand, and clenched his fist. Although his body looked thin and frail, it was strong, likely stronger than an ordinary person. As Mr. M thought about his injuries, a message suddenly appeared in his mind. Spiritual spring water heals injuries, improves physical fitness and potential. A familiar scene appeared before his eyes. A stone pond, clear water, and endless darkness. This was the scene from his dream. Spiritual spring water, Mr. M exclaimed, understanding. He hurried out of the room to get a porcelain bowl. He placed his index finger in the bowl, and with a thought, water flowed along his finger into the bowl. Soon, a bowl of clear water appeared in front of him. Mr. M looked at the water suspiciously. Is this drinkable? He recalled the stone pool in his dream, which had seemed empty but was slowly refilling with water. This spiritual spring water could regenerate continuously. After hesitating, Mr. M poured the spiritual spring water into his mouth. It was clear and sweet, and as it entered his stomach, a warm feeling spread throughout his body. His aching left shoulder felt much better, and he felt an unprecedented sense of comfort. Is it really useful? Mr. M moved his body, feeling lighter, but still experiencing some pain when raising his left arm. One bowl of spiritual spring water wasn't enough to heal his internal injuries, but Mr. M's eyes lit up with hope. If he could cure his injuries, he could resume his martial arts training. With his original body's foundation, becoming a skilled martial artist seemed within reach. More importantly, his body could recover to its peak condition. 38 wasn't old, especially if he could regain his physical prime. Feeling more relaxed, Mr. M thought, it doesn't matter if I'm 10 years older. As long as I'm not sickly and can still be full of energy, I'll be satisfied. He focused on the stone pool in his mind, seeing the spring water slowly seeping out. It was a slow process, but it gave him hope. After putting away his valuables, Mr. M walked out of the room with his hands behind his back. His eldest grandson, Nathan D., rushed over, cheering, "Grandfather!" Mr. M picked him up effortlessly, feeling a sense of connection he hadn't felt before. The little boy was chubby but cute. Nathan D. exclaimed, "Grandpa, teach me how to use a spear." Mr. M looked up to see his youngest daughter, Linda D., waving a spear in the yard. The D family's ancestral spearmanship was a unique marksmanship style developed from battlefield experience. The moves were sharp, decisive, and unconventional. All 5 of the D children had practiced martial arts and learned to read and write. Their mother had taught them literacy, while their father had passed down the family's martial arts tradition. Although Mr. M had practiced martial arts, he never became a warrior. He had also learned to read and write, but wasn't a scholar. His eldest sons, Mr. First D and Mr. Second D, had forgotten most of their martial arts skills, busy with farm work. Only Linda D, the youngest daughter, still practiced martial arts daily. Seeing her wield the spear with vigor, Mr. M felt a surge of nostalgia. Every man has a martial arts dream when young, and Mr. M's had been shattered long ago. But now, with martial artists in this world, his dream resurfaced. Grandpa will practice spear with you, okay? Mr. M said to Nathan D with a slight smile. Nathan D clapped and cheered. Mr. M put him down, went into his room, and retrieved an iron spear. The spear was 1.8 meters long, with a 7-inch spearhead weighing 4 taels. Recalling his original body's memories, Mr. M thrust the spear out like a snake, moving swiftly and continuously. He opened and closed the spear force, using it to the extreme. Nathan D clapped and cheered. Grandpa is so awesome! The doors on the east and west sides opened, and Mr. First D's wife and Mr. Second D's wife came out, holding their children and looking at Mr. M in surprise. Feeling everyone's gazes, Mr. M's heart swelled with pride, and the spear in his hand seemed to grow sharper. But his joy was short-lived. A sharp pain shot through his left shoulder, like a nerve being pressed. Mr. M stumbled, his vision darkening. Linda D rushed to support him, asking worriedly, Dad, are you okay? Mr. M felt a warmth in his heart at his daughter's concern. Fine, he said, though regretfully. But I shouldn't practice with the spear for now. He longed to continue, but his internal injuries were too severe. Mr. First D's wife, Wang, approached, holding the eldest granddaughter. Dad, do you want to see a doctor? She asked. Mr. M felt embarrassed. No, just rest. He wasn't used to his daughter-in-law's concern. It felt awkward. As he thought about it, Mr. M realized he needed to get married. He couldn't stay a widower forever. He could remarry, and his children could have a stepmother. I'll find a stepmother for you all soon, Mr. M thought to himself. After resting for a while, Mr. M felt more comfortable, but his stomach started growling again. It was almost noon, and the single bowl of multigrain porridge he'd had for breakfast wasn't enough. He looked up at the kitchen, knowing the Huck D family only had 2 meals a day. The next meal wouldn't be until evening, and he doubted he could make it that long without eating. Man is iron and food is steel, Mr. M thought. If you don't eat, you'll feel hungry. He shouted, Daughter-in-law, cook! Mr. First D's wife, who was cleaning the yard, was taken aback. Dad, are we cooking now? We usually only eat 2 meals a day. Mr. M maintained his concise tone. From now on, we'll eat 3 meals a day. Mr. First D's wife was surprised. 3 meals a day? Dad, there's not much food left at home. If we don't save some, it might not last until the autumn harvest. I know, Mr. M said lightly. The boss and I will go to the county town this afternoon to buy some food and meat. Mr. M called his oldest son the boss. This family hadn't had meat in a long time, and Mr. M wanted to change that. He also needed to recover his body, and nutrition was essential for resuming his martial arts training. Mr. First D's wife, V, looked surprised but didn't ask questions. As a daughter-in-law, she couldn't question her father-in-law's decisions. Soon, prepared a meal. The staple food was still corn tortillas and multigrain porridge, with a dish of fried eggs with leeks. Though it was called scrambled eggs with leeks, there were only 2 eggs in 2 large bowls of leeks. Mr. First D and Mr. Second D returned from working in the fields, looking surprised to see the food on the table. Wendy whispered to Mr. First D, Dad told me to do it. Mr. First D looked at Mr. M, who came out of the house, but didn't ask questions. In feudal society, filial piety was paramount, and children who questioned their parents were considered unfilial. Mr. M sat in the main seat, picked up the porridge, and started eating. He was truly hungry. As they ate, Mr. M thought, I am your father now. I can do whatever I want, and I don't need to explain myself to you. The food cooked by Mr. First D's wife, Wendy, was mediocre at best. If Mr. M wasn't extremely hungry, he wouldn't have been able to eat it. But he couldn't blame Wendy. Even a good cook needs ingredients to work with. A glance in the kitchen revealed a scarcity of seasonings, with only half a can of lard and coarse salt available. Under such conditions, it was a miracle Wendy had managed to prepare anything edible. Mr. M was just grateful to have something to eat. The D family village was nestled at the foot of Chongqing Mountain. From the village entrance, the landscape unfolded with endless mountains and forests to the north and fertile fields to the south. Most villagers shared the surname D and belonged to the same clan. However, Mr. M's branch of the family was relatively weak, with only 1 son for 3 generations. In the afternoon, Mr. M asked Mr. First D to harness the ox cart, and they slowly made their way to the county town. The country roads were treacherous, filled with potholes, and the ox cart's wheels offered no respite from the bumps. By the time they arrived, Mr. M felt like he'd been shaken to pieces. The journey, though only about 10 miles, took half an hour. Mr. M shuddered at the thought of traveling hundreds or thousands of miles at such a pace. As they entered the county town, Mr. M observed his surroundings with curiosity. The town was more prosperous than he'd expected, with shops lining both sides of the street and a steady stream of pedestrians. As they entered Anning County, Mr. M was struck by its authentic, ancient charm. The buildings were connected, and people wore traditional attire, creating a vivid atmosphere. Anning County was located in the northeast of the Darrong Dynasty, just 300 miles from the northeastern border. Beyond that lay the territory of nomadic peoples against whom the original Mr. M had fought in the army. As they rode, Mr. First D asked, "Dad, do you want to visit my third brother first?" Mr. M blinked, recalling his third son, Mr. Third D, who was an apprentice in a blacksmith shop. It would be impolite not to visit his son while in town. "Let's go to the market first," Mr. M said. He couldn't visit empty-handed. From his memories, Mr. M knew being an apprentice was tough. They did all the dirty work, and learning skills depended on the master's willingness to teach. Apprentices received no wages, only food and lodging. Mr. Third D was just 13, sent to the blacksmith shop a year ago. Mr. M felt uneasy thinking about it. The boy hadn't even finished elementary school. At the market, Mr. M bought 2 stone of grain, oil, salt, sauce, vinegar, 10 pounds of pork, and some pork bones. Thinking of his third son, Mr. M bought 20 more meat buns. After shopping, he had less than 2 taels of silver left from the 10 taels he brought. As he left the market, Mr. M sighed, feeling that money was hard to spend. He wanted to buy more, but his limited funds forced him to be frugal. The blacksmith shops in the county town were thriving, making farm tools, swords, spears, halberds, and other weapons. Martial arts were popular in the Darrong Dynasty, and many people practiced them. In D Family Village, almost everyone knew some martial arts, a heritage passed down through the Yang family. In feudal society, clans were crucial. Large clans were aristocratic families, while smaller ones managed local affairs. Each clan had its own traditions. Anning County's proximity to the border meant frequent threats from nomadic tribes, leading many to practice martial arts and own weapons like swords and spears. The presence of Chongqing Mountain also meant many hunters lived at its foot, skilled in bows and arrows. The blacksmith shop before them was the largest in Anning County. As Mr. M entered the blacksmith shop, he met a strong man with a limp, the boss. Mr. M smiled faintly. "Boss, I'm here to see Third D." The shop owner boomed, "Third D! Third D!" His voice drowned out the clanging of iron hammering in the shop. A sturdy young man ran over, bare-shouldered and dark-skinned. Mr. M nodded to his third son, then handed the shop owner 3 pounds of pork. "Boss, let me talk to Third D for a bit." The shop owner protested, "Just talk. Why bring gifts?" But Mr. M insisted, stuffing the pork into the shop owner's hands. Mr. M believed in reciprocity and knew that his third son still needed the shop owner's care. The gift was a small token of appreciation. According to his memories, the shop owner was a generous man who wouldn't fuss over the pork. Mr. M stood aside, watching quietly. He didn't feel a strong connection to his adopted sons. The 2 brothers chatted for a bit before Mr. M handed 5 meat buns and 100 coins to Mr. Third D. When Mr. First D drove the ox cart away, Mr. Third D stood in the blacksmith shop, looking reluctant to part with his family. Mr. M sat on the ox cart, watching the blacksmith shop fade into the distance, and sighed inwardly. Life in this family is tough, he thought. He needed to find a way to improve their financial situation, at least to the point where they had enough food and warm clothes.